Hello, and welcome to another week of the Abusecartoons Livestream. All right. So, let's get started. I guess it's October, so we can still get away with some Halloween cartoons. And I think we'll, when we look at the old archives, I think 2015, we're going to hit October as well. So, we'll see what's there. So I hope everyone is doing well. A little bit earlier than usual, but not by a lot. And this should be the normal day for a little while. All right. Yeah, let's not do any of that. Just do boxes for 20 minutes. So what else? Trying to think. Oh, maybe like glow sticks. That was a thing that started. And that was kind of fun as a kid because glow sticks were kind of rare and they had that limited life span. So like by the early morning, there's barely something there. That chemical reaction lasted for only so long. But yeah, that was the big, Halloween safety. Something like that. Yeah, what other... Yeah, like putting reflectors on kids' costumes and stuff. Yeah. Let's see if I can draw a weird, one of those vacuum-formed masks. Let's see. And not really be able to tell who it was. Yeah, those things when they trimmed them. So I don't think they still, I don't know if they still exist. But they were these very thin, very, easily crushable plastic masks that vaguely had the look of the character that they were supposed to be. And they cut out air holes for the mouth, nose, and then, of course, eye holes. And the plastic where they cut it was kind of sharp, so you're always tempted to, like, stick your tongue through the little mouth hole, and you can definitely get cut doing that. All right, let me just do this weird, put a weird hole there. So maybe I don't need to do such a huge chin. It'll still make sense. And I should probably do that weird thing because sometimes they had kind of a little edge on them too. Yeah, but it was basically a plastic poncho that just went over your winter coat, because if you lived in any place that had a serious winter. It was so cold. At Halloween, you weren't going to be doing much else than wearing your winter coat. And that was funny when you had a more elaborate costume, having to wear your winter coat over it was because you don't account enough for when making it. You don't account for it being so cold. So that was always that always ruined things. I don't think they do that in schools anymore, but they used to let you wear your costume to school that day. Or in school, like you could bring it and change into it. All right, maybe this eye hole can be a little more like this. Yeah, but those masks were very crude and weird. I don't think they survived very well either, because they were, very, they were kind of in a windowed box, so you could see the mask and then the folded, plastic poncho inside. But the boxes were very light as well, so I wonder how many of those actually survived that era without being crushed. Yeah, that would be a fun thing to look through, see what's on the internet concerning those. Oh, let's draw some more vampire teeth. Those are fun. But yeah, that was a thing for a while. And I think the technology got much better. And they're able to do more than just that. And what, wax lips? Yeah, that was another weird thing. Big red wax lips. Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think they were really flavored, but they were just, very strange. Different weird mouths. Oh, I guess we can do like Halloween, like eyeballs and things. Yeah, I haven't been to a real Halloween store in a long time. I wonder what I'm sure costumes are getting so expensive and so elaborate now, because they have to compete, with what the hobby people are doing with, things on Etsy and stuff. And I think that's probably people that do props and things, not only for the summer kind of cosplay season, but for Halloween they must clean up. Oh, there's something. Oh, and I guess I can do some, like red, red veins. So just two eyes, but looking different directions. Yeah, they're discouraging public gatherings here, because last year what happened in South Korea, there was a narrow street that there was rumored some famous YouTuber or somebody was in a bar somewhere, and people crowded in, and there was a lot of crushing and stuff, because there were no police there. There was no management of any sort of, there's no crowd control. So a lot of people got messed up just for some possibly false rumor that somebody was, what's going on? That's too big, isn't it? Yeah, I think that scale's pretty good. And I guess flashlights, yeah, I don't know. Oops. Yeah, flashlights are now all crazy LED, last forever. No more incandescent bulbs and D batteries. There we go. I remember we had these weird red plastic flashlights. I think they bought them for something like Halloween, and they were always around, and they never seemed to work. You know, when you see that trope in horror movies where someone's got a flashlight and it's raining, and they try to turn on and it flickers, and they're hitting it. You know, that's the old school connections for flashlights. The way the bulb didn't seat well, the batteries didn't connect well, so they flickered because of the simplicity of the design. What else? Oh, we got to do some more candy corn. It's the only way you can visually know it's Halloween. All right. Looks more like teeth. What's going on here? What's going on? The pressure sensitivity is a little off. Spooky candy corn. Oh yeah, that looks funny with the eyes. I'll just do some more candy type stuff. It's so funny, the kind of people that go crazy building really elaborate, like haunted houses in their driveways and stuff for Halloween. It's always like a generation like overcompensating for what they felt was what they lacked in their childhood. It's very odd. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was thinking about is like speaking of like past generations, is that's got to be difficult for really authentic costume design and also how they like if you want to portray the Midwest in the Midwest America in the 60s or 70s, you're actually going to have a lot of, depending on where it is, if it's not like a major city that's on the cutting edge of fashion, a lot of people their fashion is a little bit, they don't buy every season and keep up with the latest thing. So a lot of your characters are going to be dressed in kind of previous era things. So when you try to do I think like Stranger Things is one of the shows where they do that very poorly, where they make everything, this is stuff that existed in the 80s, but you have hand-me-down clothes and you have people that haven't updated their wardrobes for a decade, so they would be dressed out of style. And that would, be part of the authenticity, is that, people that are out of touch. That would be another show I noticed that in was, I forget which one, but one of those, there were two that came out at the same time about the trial of the kind of religious, the woman that was involved in the church group that killed the wife of a man she had an affair with, and I think she got off. Spoilers if you wanted to see. She got off because I think they did like a temporary insanity or something, or she was acquitted somehow. But there were some, interesting things about the case that I think made for good like true crime kind of stuff. And so they did two versions of that, and one of them did a really good job of recreating the era and having people in all kinds of different levels of, like, you know, because it was I think Texas maybe, but it was a very simple small town, and the most of the characters were grouped around this church group, and so I think they did a pretty good job with that. But then the other one was like very cartoony. So yeah, it's a really difficult thing because you're not trying to create a reality, you're just trying to create a look. But if you go too overboard, like I think with Stranger Things, like they would have like a poster for a band or something that like whatever the album was just released, so a kid wouldn't have have that poster, or it wouldn't have been popular, like it hadn't even come to America yet. So they did a lot of like weird mistakes, but I think they didn't really care about reality. They were just going for the nostalgia of it. But yeah, that's funny, but that is a weird, challenging thing. There's like a weird balance because everyone's houses and clothing and even like hairstyles and stuff have a holdover. You know, there's older people especially don't update their style. They just kind of stick with the hair they had and their haircut from the 50s or whatever, from their 50s or whatever. You know, they just kind of stop changing. So yeah, it's interesting. You get a weird pastiche of all that stuff. Filling in the blanks. All right. Cool. Just want to make sure. I think everything is going. I should check Twitch. People do wander in from Twitch from time to time. Oh, good. The woman that paints her breasts got a partnership with Twitch. I was really hoping that things were going to work out for that. For her. Ugh. Oh, I should... Sorry, this isn't... Oh, this actually doesn't matter because there's no audio. Yeah, I had a really embarrassing... the last live stream that I did last Friday. I had the audio turned off for the Discord. So, total silence for the first half of the stream. So I should just delete that. But yeah, there's just so much. I need like a checklist. That's why, you know, like there's for launching the space shuttle and things, they have checklists because when there's a lot to remember, it's pretty miserable. To not to forget something, because then the whole thing is for nothing. One simple omission, like audio, and everything falls apart. Yeah, that was no fun. All right, so now we can log out, and it's gonna make me do a phone code or something. Yes, of course it is. Love that about Twitch. You're constantly two-step verifying. I guess that's comforting for people that are making their living off of it, but for everybody else. All right, we're actually streaming. Okay. All right, so I'll just keep an eye on chat there as well, because sometimes the combined chat is delayed and not very accurate. Hey, True Help, how's it going? On YouTube. Okay, yeah, so Twitch is up as well. Yeah, good to see you. So just trying to come up with some Halloween items. Why is that thumbnail so strange? Oh, I think because everything is filled. Oh, that's right. Let's do the, that's all. Well, let's select this and get this out of here. Yeah, I filled in the whole thing. There we go. And let's get rid of this layer of pure white. There we go. Ah, I wasn't on the right. Come on, there we go. There, now we're on the right layer, right? Right, there we go. Yeah, good to see you, True Help. So just, yeah, it's still October, so I'm gonna try to get some Halloween. Oh, maybe the pile of pumpkin guts. I don't think I've done maybe I have a pumpkin guts cartoon. So you can do a before and after. All right, and we'll put a couple of seeds in there and some stringiness. Yeah, I don't want to do too much detail. Or maybe the seed should be higher, so we've got plenty of room for the eyes. Yeah, this will definitely have to be one. The remains of a carved pumpkin. Yeah, that's fine. And let's do the lid. Yeah, that was always something I was fascinated when I was a really young kid with, is how my parents knew to cut at an angle so the lid didn't just drop right in. It's like, wow, how did they know about that? That seems like such complicated engineering for a 5-year-old or whatever. Wow. Parents really do know everything. And then the also making the either like a little marker line or a notch so you can align the lid easily, because you can never cut a perfect circle, so it's always like a puzzle piece putting it back and notching it so it's easy to orient is impressive as well. There we go. Some kind of lid, very small one. So do people still put, they probably just put like LED lights, like battery operated LED lights and stuff, because you can get brighter and you can make them, you know, get ones that flicker and stuff. So there's no reason to put a candle in a pumpkin, in a jack-o'-lantern anymore. Yeah, so let's just do these three as a cartoon, the guts and the lid. I think that'll be good. So let's see. So this one and these guys are here, and then the lid. Okay, yeah, they're just these 3 layers. Let's put these on a in the separate one. That should be a fun collection. Oh yeah, this is my coffee mug design for the mug that turned out very poorly. I don't know. I did a couple of coffee mug tests for the Friday stream, so we stopped showing off Starbucks logos all the time. So you'll never know how badly we've sold out. But yeah, one of the viewers said, "Yeah, why don't you print some mugs so we don't have to look at Starbucks cups during the live stream?" So I thought that was a decent idea. There we go. Okay, yeah, something like that might be fun. The gooey remains Yes, it is also art. I love how, you know, we have this new kind of genre. So, like when I was a kid, there was like soft core kind of cable late night movies, like because a lot of that stuff it happened in the like late 60s, mostly 70s, I think 70s and 80s. The softcore filmmakers. There's a lot of stuff in Japan, what they call pink cinema, and like the what's the name? It just dropped out of my head. Yeah, there are a couple of like famous series of like softcore stuff that was on Cinemax and late night cable stuff constantly. And so that was kind of like, what kids could get access to if they had, parents that weren't very watchful, weren't very concerned. But yeah, now we have this whole weird genre online, because online you can get access to any kind of, explicit content you want to, if you know how to click a yes, I am 18 button. And so now there's this whole like genre of adult entertainment for preteens, basically, for like the 8 to 13 or 8 to, what was that, 8 to 11, 8 to 11, whatever that preteen genre. So there's all this like weird titillating content on the streaming channels and stuff for kids that don't want to get caught, maybe looking for anything more serious. They would but I couldn't. I'd be so depressed if my son was like obsessed with and even gave money to Twitch streamers that were just doing body art and all kinds of silly stuff like that. But they are trying to make this like super softcore content, because that's what I think that NPC stuff was, that weird repetitive what was that what platform was that mostly on? But yeah, just that weird repetitive video, but that you feed, so it's just like this weird evolution of like cam girl stuff, and they're trying to go for people that don't even have credit cards but somehow have access to virtual currencies. All right, so vampire teeth and wax lips. This is just a bunch of like weird random stuff. I don't think anything is like really why do I keep doing that? There's a weird thing that I'm triggering with my resize. Maybe I move a little too fast and it goes beyond resizing. Okay, let's not even bother with that candy. But let's see. So something about... We don't have to do safety. Yeah, I like the candy corn and the eyeballs together. I think that looks great. TikTok. Yeah. The glizzies. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, TikTok and the weird, that weird trend that made money, because there is something like, telling a girl what, I mean, and it's so funny because all of that is like not proto, I guess that's the word for like proto porn. It's like teaching kids that if someone's doing something that pleases you online, or you want to control somebody, throw money at them, throw bits or whatever. It's very weird. It's all weird training. Yeah, that was the thing I couldn't get over, like with super chats and stuff. That feels kind of strange sometimes, because it's like the in a lot of cases I think for a lot of people it makes them like want to perform, or want them to be audience pleasing, or they're just e-begging. But that feels really weird, because it can, especially if you're trying to do something creative. Because it very easily starts to feel like, cam girl level of people telling you, do this, do this, do this. Yeah, and that's funny because when I get like some just random people popping in from Twitch or other places, sometimes that's their mentality. It's like, oh, someone's drawing something, draw this, do this, do this. Like you immediately get commands from people because I think that's just how they're, how they view streaming. If you're doing something, then you're commandable. And if you'll do it for free, then whoa, what a sucker. Yeah, it's just weird. The whole thing is just like, I don't know, it's this weird self-perpetuating thing. And when they talk about like, TikTok being this like gateway to OnlyFans and cam girl work, it's like, ugh. Because young kids do that for attention. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, I got to get off of this. And yeah, that's right. So only when you're... a loss of identity? Yeah, something about disguises and... yeah, something like that. So I'll do some weird Halloween colors. Yeah, so I'll try to do something like weirdly, too deep or too extreme for the meaning of costume choices or disguises or whatever. Let's see if we can get a good color, maybe a little more desaturated, a little grayer. It's a little dark. The creepy cutout. Oh yeah, maybe we'll go with the last color because red will really clash with that. That'll look kind of cool. Make sure I'm on the actual... oh, let's do the eyeballs a little off color too. Yeah, like that. But yeah, it's really funny, but everything is just being kind of readjusted because that's going to be, like online coaching and, kind of self-help and, guidance and stuff. All that stuff is going to be pay to play. And yeah, we're just going to, it'll be weird. It'll be weird how people will seek out services. Yeah, I heard that because when there were pandemic lockdowns and people here in Japan followed the rules, pretty well. There's no way to enforce it here, but people were pretty good at. Not going too crazy with ignoring guidelines and stuff that were set up, and but the one business that really suffered is the kind of hospitality business. So here, and it is like for the most part, as far as we know, non-sexual. The hostess bars and girl bars and kabakura, all these like levels of entertainment for men, and it's basically just someone to laugh at your jokes and pour your drinks and maybe touch your knee or whatever. So then it's like tolerated by wives and stuff. I think that's part of the reason that I try to give it a level of innocence or non-sexual interaction. Not that most of the guys even care. But, so once you couldn't in person get that kind of service, then I think people started doing like online, like they would do like Zoom calls and stuff with clients just to maintain their relationship and hope that things got back to normal once you could meet face to face. But I thought that was very funny. I can see though that becoming its own thing, like people wanting an online, paid relationship, which I think is a lot of what OnlyFans is like pretending to be. let's see here, maybe some dark green is a like a parasocial relationship where you actually have some connection with somebody. Because what was it? I can't remember, some documentary I watched, but yeah, that's how the girls were talking about. You know, they oh yeah, that's right. There was, what was that? There was some weird, probably like Netflix thing where a cam girl like traveled to meet, like this guy paid a bunch of money and traveled to meet her one of her biggest customers, like who donated the most. And this guy, you know, of course, had these wonderful romantic ideas about what would happen, but she brought her like fiance with her, and she didn't hide that fact, like in her business you know, interactions with him. She didn't hide the fact, what am I doing? The fact of his existence. Oh, that's right. I want to do some weird details on the mask as well. Didn't hide his existence, and so it's just this like weird tolerated thing. And sometimes, like, you know, he was obviously just off camera while she was busy with customers. That has to slow things down a little bit. Okay, so what are we doing here? But yeah, the weird expectations of the, you know, what the customer wanted and what it was really sad, because like the relationship doesn't work. Like once it's in, you know, once it's IRL, it's very strange. And but I can see that becoming a thing, especially here, where people, maybe like a clown type thing, where people are getting more and more antisocial, because there's so many, you know, restaurants that cater for single diners, and there's the karaoke boxes that cater to single, you know, one person. So it's basically like a telephone booth with a karaoke set, and you just sing to yourself. I guess it's, you know, technically it could be for people that just want to practice, but yeah, it's very depressing. But yeah, that'll be interesting once the things that those weird services were replacing actually get replaced by even weirder services, you know, even more antisocial. Let's do like a, yeah, it's just odd, and it just figures itself out. Like, I don't think anyone's going to be very good at predicting where that stuff goes, and different cultures will, you know, do it in different ways, but oof, it's going to get weird. And I wonder if, you know, there'll have to be some legal, because can you imagine like an OnlyFans girl or whatever, like suing somebody for alimony, you know, because like he supported me, you know, like depending on how they can get the courts to feel about that. And he supported me for 5 years, and I'm used to this sort of, you know, or I guess it's like if it becomes one of those, it was a virtual common law marriage. Those poor guys will be shocked. Now you have to pay alimony to your OnlyFans girl because she's entitled to a lifestyle the lifestyle that you gave her. Yeah, I'm sure that kind of stuff will come up as, you know, some girls age out of that business and will kind of, you know, desperately try to cash in some way with whatever they've got left. Can you imagine? A terrible thought. Yeah. Yeah, the right lawyer in the right court finding a way to argue that. Yeah, no, I think that's right. Brosexual online partner. Nice. Oh, Hyphonics did an NPC thing a few times just to see what it was about. Oh wow, yeah, 1,000 to 2,000 a day with that nonsense. Yeah, that's crazy. I guess yeah, because it becomes, and it may be like a group thing too. Like if everybody in the chat is kind of enjoying the group experience, and like the one guy is doing this, the other guy's doing something else, and so like who's winning the donation race or whatever. Yeah, kind of scale. Yeah. Brosexual with a $sign online partner. That's so funny. True help. Yeah, it's a funny thing, and people are constantly, I think, redefining what relationships and things are for themselves. So who knows? But yeah, that will be interesting because there's going to be a point where some people that are kind of aging out of easily making the money as things start to die down, they're going to get a little bit desperate to keep the party going. Yeah, I just hope there's enough people that are getting, that make a living. I think if you're making a living, you might have I don't know. I can't say that for sure, but I would think a better head on your shoulders, because the people that just kind of think it's easy money and just dip into it and find out, yeah, you can make $100, but is that worth putting your nudes out there in the world forever, and worse than that? But yeah, I don't know. It seems like it could be a good way, just like Kickstarter and like crowdfunding and stuff, it's a good way to jumpstart something that you really want to do. So if you want to like have your own business or whatever in your 20s, make all the money as fast as you can and just fund whatever your dream is, and that would be the most ideal thing, or fund your education or whatever, which is what a lot of people claim they're doing. But that would be the best way. This is looking pretty grotesque. I want to make sure that eyeballs don't read as actual eyeballs. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. Yeah, but it's a funny thing. And then, and not even that, but the pressure, just like actresses and people and models and things, the pressure to have cosmetic surgery to keep, like, it's going to be this weird, how much money you're making versus what you want to invest in procedures. Yeah, because if you're doing well enough, it's like, I should probably do that. It's going to be really, really hard decisions for some people to make, and I don't envy any of that kind of. I'm trying to maintain any of that stuff. That's crazy, because it'll be a whole nother level. All right, well, I don't know what kind of mess that is, but oh, that's right. Let me figure out where am I going to put eyes on any of this stuff. Let's see how this goes. Does candy corn get eyes? I forget if there's enough. Yeah, the vampire teeth are not great. The eyes have eyes. What's going on? Yeah, and I wonder how things are going to change for what's going to be socially acceptable, because because there's always like with political office and things, and even like teaching or something, there's always this weird morality that's held over. People can be accused of being bad people, and that's like a negative to a political career or whatever. I wonder if that's just going to go away, and people will start to just accept. Because I can imagine a politician going after if especially if it's a woman that put herself through like law school or whatever, doing like, that broad definition of sex work, like online sex work, that she could then at some point be criticized for that by an opponent, but then the ability to do that just goes away. Like it becomes culturally acceptable enough that this needs to be more orange, I think, a little bit more. Yeah, let me try the outside color first. Yeah, but that'll be interesting. So I think the Hunter Biden stuff is an interesting case where was so ridiculous. Like the stuff that came out was so ridiculous that they wanted to point to it. Like I think, political opponents like the Republicans wanted to point to it, but it's just like, it's like, it was just so extreme that it looked ridiculous to try to use that as a political weapon, because it was like, how did that even happen? Like, what? How did this idiot not be able to put his phone down while he's tripping all the time? It was just, it's funny. That was an interesting case where it doesn't seem to work because it's like so insane. It doesn't seem to work well as a political, to the advantage. All right, we'll color these guts. They're kind of just a lighter orange, right? Yeah, maybe like that. That's pretty good. I thought that was, so funny. So people wanted to like bring those images like to the floor of the Senate and stuff. Like that's, that's funny. And I think it was easy to dismiss them as, that can't be real, because it is so funny that something like that exists. Much worse than Billy Beer. That was really interesting how it was, too intense to be used as an effective political weapon. And also the that weird hypocrisy that politicians have. Like it's so funny to when there's obvious targets or obvious things that they could use or they could go after, but then that would open them up to that same criticism, and they're just as guilty of whatever. So they say, okay, well we can't accuse them of that because I'm doing that. I have this whole scheme going on where I'm using my family members to, okay, well, let's not go too hard over that. Yeah. It's very, very funny. I'm so glad I'm not going to be in the U.S. for 2024. What a mess that's going to be. Yeah, I'm already, just thinking about it is already exhausting. All the nonsense that people are going to have to hear. And not only in like presidential, but all the other hotly contested races. People just get stupid. So it's nice to be able to just watch from a distance. All right, and we'll make these guts a little more wet looking. All right. And it's so funny. It's such a circus that, because most people I know here are not American, and they're very interested, or they're always asking me, or they have very strong opinions about American politics. It's just like, you have no idea. It's weird. I don't understand why there's so much, because it is a circus, I guess, but why there's so much weird foreign interest and not understanding context. And that's a subject, anytime I have conversation lessons or anything with Japanese, they always love to ask me about, funny American culture questions. But outside of it, it's hard to explain. But yeah, people are just so curious about the weird experiment called America. All right. Make these too crazy. 3D. All right. Pumpkin guts. There's more where that came from. Oh, thanks, True Help. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I wonder where that white powder. I don't think they even called it. They never called it drugs, right? They just called it mysterious white powder. Where did that come from? It was just some leftover baking soda from the White House refrigerator. Yeah, right. True Help. Your grandmother will be. I think my grandparents will be voting as well. They've all moved on, but still their political opinions matter in America. So, yeah, even though they're not with us physically, they will be contributing to the to the outcome of next year's election. I'm glad, though. You know, it feels like that nobody's ever gone. If you look at the electorate rolls, the voter rolls in individual districts, yeah, people live on. Yeah, I'm really glad that none of my grandparents were around for COVID. That would have been, I mean, especially at the end of your life, that's got to be easily the shittiest way to be old. And if like the only happiness in your life is seeing your grandchildren and your son and daughter-in-law, or son-in-law and daughter, like, no, you can't, we can't come, we're just afraid we'll kill you with our germs. Or with our, virus carrying. Yeah, that's, really, really shitty. Right. Yeah, and I didn't have any direct experience of it because I didn't get back very often, but my dad's dad at the end of his life became a real Fox News guy. And he was never like that. He was always like, he was a police detective too, but he was surprisingly liberal for a police detective. Like, he didn't have negative, really strong, like, negative, like, racial opinions or anything. And I think it was because the town was, just a very small town in the Midwest, so not very diverse. So the people that he was arrested, the scumbags in his district, were all, white guys. So he never developed a strong racial bias. All right, the seeds look a little sharp and weird, but oh well. Pumpkin guts. I hope that reads as pumpkin guts, but we'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be wild. Without the pandemic, we're gonna have to come up with some new tricks for. I think that was the big problem with the I guess you don't talk about the last election on YouTube, but that was the big problem with the last election is I won't finish that thought, but yeah, it was fun. It was a good time. It was fair and honest, and no problems there. But yeah, it'll be a big difference this time. So the new strategies will be fun. But yeah, I think America's always been built on both sides cheating their asses off, and because both of them are trying so hard to throw elections and throw local specific districts and stuff certain ways. They're cheating so hard that it balances out. It's like the net effect of the two negatives is a positive, so it actually ends up not feeling so corrupt. But yeah, you never know. Yeah, too funny. I can't believe how much, sorry, this is just coming out of nowhere, but how much 3D printing stuff is on Etsy. I guess that's a big thing. You know, that's like everyone's trying to buy something for their hobby, but then making it into a side hustle. So lots of 3D printing stuff on Etsy. I always thought it was going to stay in the jewelry making arts and crafts world, but getting a little more high tech. Okay, so let's take a look. We'll get into October as well at the comments. Let's bring that up and see if I can actually switch scenes. Boom. Okay. There we go. Oh, yeah. So here's the last week's Halloween. So let's see. August 4th, 2015. So we'll do August, September, October. And see how it goes. Let me pull this window up. All right. And somehow keep the chat open. Okay, yeah, so the very Japanese ice cream containers, which probably don't make any sense. Their modern packaging turned the melting process into a bizarre spectacle. I don't think because ice cream would be pretty opaque when it melted, so it looks just like it was sweating or something. All right, so August 6th. Frozen mini pizzas and flat Diet Cola were as much a cry for help as they were an actual meal. So what? Flat? Looks round to me. Oops, I guess I was already here. But they sure are cheap. All right, flat diet soda. August 11th. It was now clear that they weren't drinking grape juice. Uh-oh. I've been here before as well. It was so good. I should have, yeah. Oh, that's right. I did the blush on the glass, the drunken blush. August 13th. None of them were very enthused about their purpose in life. So diapers and baby wipes. None of them was. Oh, none of them was. Uh-oh. More grammar police. The butt of the jokes. None of them was. I guess because none is singular? Yeah. None was. Yeah, none of them were. So let me put that in my corrections file. And double check that. Yeah, I hate there's some grammar things. It's like, oops. Never formatting of them was. Let's see if I still have that file handy. All right. August 18th. Even a 30-minute lunch break felt like a greasy eternity. I just love, I don't know why I'm so fascinated with drawing the grease spots on the fast food bag. I think because I always got, drive-through fast food, so it had plenty of time to soak through the bag. All right. August 20th. Come on. Reload. Uh-oh. Hopefully my internet hangs in there. There we go. August 20th. He finally had to admit that he was a mess without her. All the little plastic table table thing. Oh, I love these. They come in so handy. I save them all. Don't get that many, but when I do, I'm sure no one in the family throws them out. That's funny. Don't you just love those outdoor barbecue tables they pack in the pizza? They can be useful if you place them upside down in certain situations as well. Nice. You haven't seen one of those in a long time. So it was the thing that it's that little plastic support that they put in the middle of the pizza box, because the larger American-sized pizzas, it's very easy for the middle to sag, especially if it's getting hit with hot steam and grease, and then cheese gets stuck to the lid. And that brilliant invention, who I'm sure made the fortunes of an entire family for generations, that little plastic stand, keeps the lid from touching. In case, you aren't familiar with that little thing. August 25th, it was not only their postage that was insufficient. In fact, they were all empty boxes. Unliked. Empty boxes. August 27th. They spent most of their time in this very intimate position, yet felt nothing. The comb couldn't help it feel it was getting the brush off. That's pretty good. The double entendre. Okay, September 1st, gender-specific tissue boxes felt like they were asking questions that could no longer be answered. Like what happens when pink tissues and blue tissues love each other. So how do you get those little wet wipes? All right, and September 3rd, the entire meal seemed to be overshadowed by dessert. A pie, a chocolate cake, and a roll cake. All right, September 8th. The answer to the question they had lived with for so long was lima beans. All right. You're better off being a mystery. Now you're just a misery. Uncanny. Oh, that's good. All right. No label can. Therefore, the question is, what's in the can? September 10th, they began to seriously worry about the company's future. So hopes and dreams were written on their garbage. September 15th, instant mashed potatoes were ready in the exact amount of time it took to regret making them. Ooh, I got lots of pins for that one. At least they have improved them over time. Years back, they were god-awful. Nowadays, really not that bad. So I see you've tried them. My taste buds must be not very good. I can't tell them from the real potatoes. Yeah, it's kind of like weird potato flakes that... Oh, here we go. Frozen food. Even without their boxes, frozen vegetables endured. All right. September 22nd. Nothing. nothing, and nothing. No comic, no comments, nothing. Oh, butter. He now knew that there was more than enough butter. So there's supposed to be little pads of butter. That's a quick copy-paste comic. More than enough butter. They were capable of changing channels, volume, and even languages, just not each other. As a guru on the remote hilltop. Change comes from within. Oh, there you go. September 29th. He could not feel that his lack of motivation was caffeine related. So one of those is supposed to look like decaf. All right. October 1st. The top of the pile just meant no one was there to hold down their awkward front cover curl. Top of the pile. Awkward front cover curl syndrome can be embarrassing, quite irritating. Awkward vocal outburst syndrome. Some are just a little different. October 6th. Let's see if we hit any Halloween. After a week, they had to admit that the bathroom floor might have become their new long-term thing. Dirty socks and, boxes with hearts. October 8th. Today marked a sudden but unmistakable change in the attitudes towards dessert portions. I guess you can half your cake and exit too. October 13th, they felt they were the last of a good batch. All right. October 15th. Yeah, I don't think we're getting any Halloween. He had very little confidence in his ability to provide refills. October 20th. They both went into it knowing they were going to make a very boring sandwich. Very filling. October 22nd. The built-in sharpener must have had something to do with the disappearance of so many crayons. Yeah, I always like the fact that you could just grind crayons into, the little nubs of crayons into nothing if you wanted them to be sharp. Oh, did I? Sorry. Let me like it. Oh, I did. Oh, there we go. Something a little bit seasonal. Pumpkin, much more than any other kind of pie, understood their limited window of opportunity. Pumpkin pie. And then the witch cast a spell. They wouldn't come back for 100 years. Yeah, it's the funny thing about like the pumpkin pie filling in the U.S. now. I think it's just beets now or something. It's some kind of weird fibrous root vegetable that they just flavor with the the cinnamon and nutmeg and everything that go in the pumpkin pie spice. So it's actually not pumpkin in pumpkin pie filling. It's just some kind of vegetable thing that is flavored that way. So maybe it like hides, or it's cheaper and like, lets the flavor come through a little bit more. But that's funny, pumpkin pie. Maybe nobody wants to do the work of like cooking down the shell of a pumpkin to be edible, because it probably takes a lot of boiling. Plastic Wrap realized that only sticking to himself was both impractical and isolating. So he decided to stick to everything else. Stick to it. Oh, come on. Is it the website? Is it my distance? Okay, so this will be the last one. So November 3rd, 2015, Ketchup had to admit that even after his influence, the drink coasters remained inedible. Yeah, they looked at first like hamburger patties, right? But they're drink coasters. That's weird. The way that I highlighted that ketchup makes it look like strangely three-dimensional, but not in the correct way. It looks like it's actually on the 2D surface of the cartoon. The ants had fun cleaning it up. Oh, there's something else here too. And ketchup makes almost anything palatable. All right, so we'll come back for November. There we go. So we'll do November, December, January next time. All right. There we go. Oh yeah, drive-thrus. Yeah, drive-thrus. There's not such a huge car culture here, but drive-thrus, especially in like the western part of the country, or I guess wherever there's more kind of suburbs, you'll find them occasionally. They're not 24 hours usually. There must be some sort of thing. I don't know much about like the cross-country truck drivers, like what truck stops and things are like what the facilities are like for them. So I'm not sure. I think they mostly just deal with convenience stores, because a lot of convenience stores have almost 24 hours. But yeah, you can there's near us or within driving distance from us, there's a drive-through Starbucks and a drive-through McDonald's, maybe 2 McDonald's, and that's about it. And nothing else really, just the chains do that. There's no like drive-through liquor stores or any of that kind of fun stuff, because there's just not enough car culture here. They love their public transportation. So, but yeah, there's a huge, convenience store culture, which is what I take advantage of to do all the snack segments. All right, let's keep that off of the camera. All right. So yeah, the pumpkin guts. So the price paid or the collateral Yeah, let's not talk about collateral damage while we're having so many wars going on. Something about... oh, I'm thinking that he was actually the spookier. Yeah, so the Pumpkin Guts wondering why they weren't included in the in a spooky holiday. Something like that. Pumpkin Guts felt they had a legitimate... Oh, I have to spell legitimate. Spooky holiday? And yeah, I'll end all my sentences with a forward slash. Okay, the Pumpkin Guts felt they had a legitimate place in a spook. That doesn't have a very good... I like the legitimate place. Or legitimacy, spookiness. In the spooky holiday doesn't sound... in the grossness of the holiday. They had a legitimate place in the... in the something something of the holiday. Or Halloween legitimacy is a funny... oh yeah, gave them Halloween legitimacy. That might be more fun. The Pumpkin Guts legitimacy. Is that... there's another... I'm missing something. Legit... let's see. There's two I's, right? We'll find out. Their sliminess, their... but yeah, so legitimacy, so... But I would need something about being included. I like Halloween legitimacy, though. Flet. Or maybe just, yeah, something... The Pumpkin Guts... demanded a place. Yeah, I'm gonna go around and around here. Pumpkin Guts felt their disgusting nature gave them too long. Oh, legitimate. Oh, thank you. Yes. Two I's, that's right. Legitimacy. Oh, let's just do demanded, yeah. The Pumpkin Guts demanded Halloween legitimacy. So hopefully that gets across that, yeah, they're thrown out, they're ignored. They're just wanted for their seeds. Okay. Legitimacy. Oh yeah, we can spell check it right now. I think I got all my vowels in the right order. Okay. Yeah, I like the phrase Halloween legitimacy. Okay, and something about, yeah, identity or hiding or... so Halloween the one. I don't know if I want to go too much into identity or. To not be who you are, or something about being someone else, but it has to be a disgusting someone else. To enjoy so you could stop being yourself, but you had to be gross. So let you be someone else just as long as they were scary and gross. All right. Allowed you. Halloween. Is that one? Yeah, this is weird because it's like addressing the reader directly. Let someone. I don't want to say you. I think. Let someone or be themselves. Halloween, all right, so Halloween looking, Halloween disguises, Halloween. Just as long as it was scary and gross. So allowed anyone to be someone else. Just as long as it was just as long as that someone else someone else, that's very wordy. Halloween allowed anyone to be someone else just as long as that someone else was scary and gross. Halloween allowed anyone to be someone else just as long as that someone else was scary and gross. There's got to be a more economical way to say that. So as long as you had one, let you be a strange, let you be I don't want to become someone else, to be someone else, just as long as that someone else was scary and gross. I guess I just like the simplicity of the scary and gross. All right. Yeah, okay, we'll go with the super wordy thing. I don't think I'm going to do better. Maybe after 30 minutes, allowed anyone to become... All right. Yeah, it's wordy, hopefully in a funny way. The pumpkin guts demanded Halloween legitimacy. I think I've said legitimacy using it in another stupid way, like cleaning legitimacy or something. Dessert legitimacy. Okay, we'll go with these guys. Halloween jokes. That's rough stuff. Okay, well, let's hit the convenience store. Why don't we? All right. So this week we have something interesting. We've had a lot of collaborations. I think 31 Ice Cream, Baskin Robbins, some other fast food, Mossburger, some other fast food chains have done branded snacks. So this week we have San Marc's Cafe, which I think it's been around since before Starbucks got here. So I think Starbucks got here in 1990. This is from 87. So this is a coffee shop with pretty terrible coffee. It's just maybe at one time it used to be more legitimate coffee, but now it's just a machine. They just push a single button, like they push the cappuccino button or they push the, whatever, Viennese cinnamon button, whatever they do. And it's pretty terrible coffee just out of a machine. So nothing is like done by hand. But they almost are as numerous as Starbucks. And they have kind of, sometimes nicer interiors, although some of them are kind of getting worn out because they don't get replaced very often. Unlike Starbucks, it's constantly like doing remodeling. But their kind of claim to fame is not their coffee because it's not great, but the chocolate croissants. So there's like these mini chocolate croissants, which are basically just croissant dough wrapped in a little chocolate bar. And if they're fresh baked, they're not too bad. The funny thing is, and you can actually see. So you can see them at the bottom here, and they come in a little paper sleeve. But economics being what they are, to not raise the prices, they shrink the croissants. So they're getting smaller and smaller. So it's like wearing giant clown shoes. There's this huge paper cone that they come in, and the croissant only goes up to like here. They're like, this big now. They used to be almost a legitimately sized croissant and fill the whole little paper sleeve. But now they don't, and they didn't reprint new sleeves. So these little tiny pastries hanging out of the ends of these. But they're not bad. And they do a lot of seasonal and Japanese flavors. So you get like chocolate matcha. And the best one of recent was they licensed the Hawaiian Host, that chocolate macadamia, that dark chocolate macadamia candy. So they did a dark chocolate with macadamia nuts. And that was actually pretty good. So they do change flavors and try different things. And they also have parfait, ice cream, and some sandwiches and things. But they're named after, so the name of the place is San Marc's Cafe, but they also go by the Chococro, meaning chocolate croissant, Chococro. All right, so this is a weird little candy that is going to try to mimic that dessert. So it's just saying that these were made by San Marc. It doesn't look like it says in English, sold only in Japan. So tourists, make sure you stock up. Do they have any other branding? No, it's actually San Marc. The San Marc company is doing these. So this is actually, they're not partnering with Fujiya or Guriko or any of the Japanese companies. So, and did they say anything? And they're just talking about, San Marc's newest little thing here. Croissants. They're talking about their famous chocolate croissants. So it is going to be a chocolate center. And it may be crunchy. If that's what they were trying to say. Okay, so here we go. Individually wrapped, very Japanese style. So individually wrapped. Is this just going to be hard candy that tries to taste like a croissant? This could be bad. So little tiny guys. And this is what we're looking at here. So here's their demonstration image. But let's see what the reality is. This is really funny. San Marc candy. So yeah, Chococro candy. Huh. Weird. Yeah, so it's just a hard candy. It looks like a lozenge, like a cough drop. So is the outside going to taste like pastry and the inside be chocolate? It might take a while to get to any sort of flavor here. Oh, it smells very strong though of like a chocolate hard candy. Yeah, there's like a little bit of coffee flavored smell too, like a coffee chocolate combination. So maybe they're just recreating the taste of taking a bite of the chocolate croissant and taking a sip of coffee. Let's find out. There's definitely a coffee smell there. Oh, it's caramel. That coating. So that what I was thinking was, yeah, it's a caramel, however you say it, outside. Yeah, so they're not saying that. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, because they're saying the outside is is supposed to be the croissant. Croissant candy. So it's a caramel hard candy on the outside. And I haven't gotten anywhere yet. I guess I'll just bite through it. Oh, yeah, it's pretty soft. This is really strange. Inside is chocolate, and it's crumbly, flaky kind of chocolate. What does this taste like? Almost like when you bite into toffee or whatever, and how it's kind of crumbly. Not toffee. What am I thinking of? This is really weird. So it's caramel chocolate. It's not recreating the taste of the butter or croissant pastry. There's no like pastry taste. It's basically caramel chocolate candy, but the chocolate on the inside is these little layers of flakiness. So it's not like a cream or like a hard piece of chocolate. It's crunchy, and it kind of tastes like, so chewing that kind of simulates the flaky rolls of dough, like how that would be kind of crunchy. But it looks like a hard candy, and when you put it in your mouth, it feels like just like you're gonna have to dissolve it. But it's pretty soft, so you can pretty much, the coating is very thin of hard candy. So that's just caramel candy. But I don't know if you can hear in the microphone, it's very crunchy. And then the inside crunchiness is the same chocolate flavor of the croissants. It's a weird, usually their recreation of something is better than this. Oh, no, it is a Sakuma Seika. Yeah, so it is a different, I didn't see that little logo. There is a company that made these. These are really odd. They're very much like kind of grandma candies. They don't taste very interesting, and the hard candy kind of bogs everything down. Yeah, it's like a toffee. The outside is more like a toffee caramel coating with a crunchy chocolate inside. I don't know if I'm going to do another one of these. Very odd. Wow. I guess they were going for burnt sugar and chocolate and a little bit of crunchiness. It's very deceptive, though, how thin that coating is. You can, because if you bit into a cough drop, it might be kind of hard to crush it. But these are very light. So weird. We probably would have been better off doing like a cookie version or something, like a miniature cookie version, and just doing dough, like buttery dough wrapped, kind of a simulation of a wrapped or chocolate filled cookie. might have been a better chance. These are weird, but these are, more portable, less crumbly. They don't make any crumbs or anything, but they're not really creating the taste or the, they tried to do the feel of flakiness. Weird. But and the toffee caramel thing is definitely giving us a coffee flavor. So if you picked something up off the floor at this coffee shop and ate it, it probably you'd be recreating this candy very well. Just a random crud that had absorbed both chocolate and coffee flavor. It's not very pleasant chewing it because it kind of breaks up into some weird flakiness. Interesting, though. Interesting attempt. Not what I expected at all. I thought you were going to go through layers of flavor, like start out caramel and then get chocolatey. But yeah, you can bite right into it. And I could probably even crush one in my fingers. It feels like the coating is really, really thin. Wow. Very strange. Yeah, very strange combination. Well, another attempt. I think the Mossberger and some of the other ones were a little bit better, a little more accurate to the flavors and textures of the actual food. But San Marc's. So this place is always kind of it's okay. Yeah, they usually have a lot of seats. So if they're in an airport or in a shopping area or whatever, there's a lot of places to sit down. But I'll warn you against the coffee. The coffee is terrible. They used to do a Vietnamese coffee that was okay because there's just a dark, brew coffee. But recently, all of their espresso drinks and stuff, they're pretty bad. When convenience stores kind of stepped up their quality of their espresso drinks by doing little cafe type things, their fake easy cappuccinos taste much better than these guys, and these guys are expensive. They are Starbucks prices for very low quality coffee. But the interiors are okay, a little more comfortable than some of the Starbucks. Wow. So, but yeah, that logo, if you see that logo, that's going to be just about everywhere in Japan. And I guess they're pretending to be French. I don't know what they're named after. So, it says San Marc's Chocolate Bread, Sweets, and Coffee since 1987. Tiny French flag. And they do put a little accent over the E in cafe. I don't know who San Marc is. Saint Marc. But, wow. That was very okay. Not great. I don't think I'm going to be eaten too many of those, but it's kind of a funny curiosity, and all of these weird branded things. Maybe they should have gone with a little bit better candy because Sakumaseika did not do a great job. Yeah, very, very old lady candy style. Too bad. So that was San Marc's Chococro candy. Well, that label stood out right away, so I thought we'd give it a shot. Okay. Nice. Halloween allowed anyone to be someone else as long as they were scary and gross. Oh, that's good. Oh, true help. Thank you. That's a good. That was this guy. Yeah, that's probably a good way to because I'm being redundant with my someone else. Thank you. True help. I think that's a much better. Let anyone to be someone else. That's a much, so long as they were. Scary and gross. I think I'll put the else on another. Or should I do semicolon? I think that'll be my first semicolon. Yeah, that cuts down the wordiness a lot, and it doesn't. The repetition could be funny, but probably not. Probably not. It won't be perceived as that. It won't be oh, that's part of the joke. It's just gonna be, oh, that's very redundant. It allowed anyone to be gross. To be gross. Yeah, to be someone else, so long as they were scary and gross. Thank you, True Help. That's good. Oh, scary. Oh, scary or gross. That's a probably good because it's not an always. Not always both. So long as, and I almost forgot a word, as they were. There we go. Halloween allowed anyone to be someone else so long as they were scary or gross. Okay. So long as they were scary and gross. Or gross. Okay. Thank you for the help. True help. That's very that helps a lot without the redundancy. I think that will be called out immediately. Pumpkin Guts demanded Halloween illegitimacy, and Halloween allowed anyone to be someone else so long as they were scary. So long as they were scary or gross. The kerning here looks weird. It looks like a double space, but it's not. Okay. I think that's going to do it. Let me just make sure I didn't create any weird typos. Yeah, it's funny. Spell check doesn't help you at all with words that are spelled correctly but used very, very wrong. Yeah, I wonder if newer versions are going to have, because Adobe is incorporating so many AI gimmicks now into, they're pushing it pretty hard in Premiere, because in Premiere they're saying you can use the transcript. It generates a transcript which allows you to do find and replace and remove words and things from audio that you import into Premiere. So it's going to get weird pretty fast. Okay. All right. Halloween legitimacy instead of being a waste material, a byproduct of the holiday. All right. And go comics. So this will be the 17th. And this will be the 12th. So today. This is going out today. And it may not go out today. Maybe tomorrow. So yeah, it seems like with my streaming schedule, I've been doing Tuesdays and Fridays for new comics. If you're based in North America, because I'm just missing the deadline with the time change with daylight savings. Okay, is that numbered correctly? Yes. All right. So let's do some FTP uploading. Yeah, so more Halloween. Yeah, that was funny. That last year I literally had a single pumpkin pie cartoon for all of 2025. Or 2015. I'm glad the writing part is over. I don't think I would have lasted very long. There we go. So yeah, this will be going out 12th and 17th. Nice. All right. Oh yeah, so I can show you some other thing. So I was trying to do, here's a design for a branded custom coffee mug for Upturned table, and I realized that the print area, they didn't really specify. It didn't look, on the computer model that they used, it didn't look this bad. But my original version, without the kind of gradients and stuff and fewer dice, my original version was a blue background. I like this blue background. The blue is a little bit off. The color didn't reproduce great. And because of the weird border, I thought maybe it would be better like that. So maybe I'll try. I don't know. I don't like very white mugs, but I like this on a blue background. It just yeah, the colors. And this is a vector, so this should be razor sharp. And because it's that kind of weird dye sub process where they print into the enamel, it's a little fuzzy. But I did this, as high resolution as they would accept. So these may show up this week or tomorrow on the cast because I don't have, unless the other ones come. So we'll use these for now, and I'm going to try a couple of different. I want to, if somebody that'll give me a more full, a larger print area. But this is the local company, and this is their only coffee mug, only size. So this is pretty much what I'm restricted to if I want to go with them. They do ship internationally, but it's a tiny little mug. So we'll see how it goes with this. Hopefully the other place, I think it's a bigger mug, and hopefully their color is a little bit nicer. Because, with really sharp graphics, it doesn't kind of do them justice. Maybe with like a fuzzy photo or something, it would come across a little better. So maybe I'll do a weekly mug. Might be cute with the just the starting stream train image and the logo. That might work better for this. But yeah, the blue's not quite it. I don't know. I don't know if white will be as interesting, but I thought, fading the logo, doing some more dice like that might work. So we'll see. Some spooky Halloween legitimacy. Oh, I like spooky legitimacy is good. Yes. So this is my latest. So finding a place that'll do t-shirts and stuff, because now that YouTube lets you put links to your kind of merch on your channels, if you're partnered, which this channel isn't. But I think it'll be worth trying something like this. And I've heard people say, Teespring, the quality of Teespring isn't great. Because originally I was going to do the weekly cartoons on Teespring shirts. But I'll try to find, while I'm doing mugs, I'll try to find a good t-shirt place as well that'll do international. Because then I will because these are 600 DPI, images, so I can just, and I guess I could even leave the, do a modified or take that off. Probably that's better off for a t-shirt, and just do white t-shirts or any color t-shirt with a white box for the cartoons, because it's kind of closer. It's almost a square. It's 600 by 480, so that might be fun. Who knows? And then you can wear your how you've corrected. I've corrected my joke. Helped me with my joke. Everyone can participate. That might be a fun thing too. And I can like send t-shirts to people that helped on cartoons and stuff. That would be fun. All right. I think that works. Well, True Help, it was great to see you in the chat. Thanks for hanging out. All right. And thanks to everyone that was lurking and kind of enjoying the stream. So we do this every week, and it's Thursdays, so Wednesday nights in North America, Thursday afternoons. Oh, sorry, and I'm hearing something. But, there we go. Yeah, I unmuted Twitch. So thanks so much for joining me. And we had a disappointing chocolate croissant candy, but I'm sure we'll do better next time. But Abusecartoons is the website where I post everything, and you can also get the entire archive from GoComics. So gocomics.com/domesticabuse is the archive of everything. So the past 20 some years of cartoons, and watch me draw 2 of them every week on this live stream. So yes, take care everyone, and I'll see you next week. And thanks so much, True Help, for all your help. It was fun to chat with you, and I appreciate the input. So take care, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye.